Spurs fans, we may have lost the battle last night, but we have not lost the war. What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. What a game last night. A game I'm so close to winning. Thank you guys for our biggest Spurs stream ever on the channel, but most importantly, I wanted a Spurs win. And during the live chat, there was lots of finger pointing about Fox's play, Wemby's shooting, and Mitch's lack of a timeout. And I said, you know what? Let's address all this. Let's give the old TSR 2 cents. Last play of the game, Spurs get the ball with 7 seconds left, and I think they were expecting a timeout, as were we, but nope. Mitch said, move the ball up, so they get it to Dylan Harper. Harper drives, sees Champagnie. Champagnie gets a good shot, but doesn't hit the game-winning three. All right, personally, I'm on the fence on this. The big debate, of course, is take a timeout or not. I absolutely get those of you that are saying, TSR, we should have called the timeout, we should have set up the play. Okay, I agree. I also agree, though, with not taking a timeout as the defense cannot get set, and the two guys that will probably take the last shot, Victor Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox, had not been shooting particularly well throughout the whole game. And Julian Champagnie's three-point shot was a good shot. And if he makes it, we're all happy today. Nobody's pointing any fingers like, so-and-so struggled, he struggled, whatever. We won, go Spurs go. But that's not what happened. The team lost, and everybody is not happy. Honestly, I don't think it was a horrible call, but maybe there should some kind of in preparation with a minute left or during a previous timeout, whatever, something that if we get the ball back when under 10 seconds left, run a play, we're not calling a timeout, because the team looked like legit that they were waiting for a timeout and it didn't happen. Sure, it was only for a second or two, but that second or two may have cost us better spacing, a different play, whatever. It is what it is. I get it. All right, let's talk about the players. All right, first up, Victor Wembanyama. A San Antonio Spurs record, 12 block shots in a game in the playoffs. Previous, I think Tim Duncan had the playoff record at 9. Mr. Robinson was right behind him at 8. Wemby was a tour de force on defense, plus 15 rebounds, and overall finished with a triple-double. But when you look at his stat line, there are two things that I don't like that jump out to me. The first one is the three-point shooting, 0 for 8. I do think 8 threes is a bit too much. I get we need the floor spacing, pull Rudy Gobert out of the paint, etc. I understand, but if they're not going in, you got to stop firing them because it essentially turns into a turnover. And the other thing I don't like there is him playing 40 minutes. I think his offense suffered last night because, quite frankly, he was tired from all the work he was doing on defense, banging with the bigs from the Timberwolves. He should not be playing 40 minutes. For those that don't know, I checked. Wemby played 22 of the possible 24 minutes in the second half, including all of the fourth quarter. No. There's a reason for that we'll get to in a few moments. He should not be playing this much. Maybe 36 tops. Unless it's overtime. That I do think that affected Wemby's game. Okay. Whoo, boy. Y'all say that I'm a De'Aaron Fox hater. You should have seen the chat last night because I looked like the biggest supporter of De'Aaron Fox on the planet with some of the stuff that was being spewed out. Fans were not happy. De'Aaron Fox had an absolutely abysmal first half. He had 0 points on 0 for 5 shooting and 2 turnovers. He had more turnovers than points in the first half. Third quarter was rough too. 2 points, 3 turnovers. So again, more turnovers than points. That's not what you're looking for from your all-star max contract point guard. Sorry, I'm putting him in there, but people rob the contract. I'm trying not to bring it up, but you're expecting performance. You're expecting a performance you pay for, right? To his credit, he was much better, significantly better in the fourth quarter, where he scored 8 points and had 3 assists and only 1 turnover. Where the heck was that all game? I don't know. I don't know if something changed going into the fourth quarter or he just woke up all of a sudden and said, holy crap, I got to turn it on. Overall, De'Aaron Fox, 10 points on 5 of 14 shooting, 6 turnovers. We are not going to win any games with him playing like that. He needs to do better. Obviously, Wemby needs to do better on offense. And last but not least, it was rough when Luke Kornet was on the floor. You can't see it right now. I'll hide myself just real quick. In 8 minutes, he was a -7. He was almost unplayable in those 8 minutes. 2 points, 2 boards, 2 turnovers. But man, just everything seemed off when he was in there. He's going to need to step up. Said it just a few moments ago. Wemby needs rest. He's 7'5", and with all the energy he's expelling on defense, it's probably not leaving too much on the offensive side. So, Luke, you need to play better so we can see you playing 12 minutes, 13 minutes, just a little more. So Wemmy's not playing almost the entire second half, which I don't know. I don't know how much he's done it this year. This might be the first time he's played 22 minutes in the second half. I don't know. It seems sort of like an anomaly. This is not going to work. So to circle back to, whoops, that's me. One take TSR, right? Got to do it. I don't have time to reshoot. To answer the question, the name of the video, who cost the Spurs last night? Well, from what I saw online, De'Aaron Fox after the game said, I think this game in particular, I think it was on me. Okay, I won't argue that. De'Aaron, way to step up and accept responsibility. Props to you. But the answer to me is nobody. Nobody in particular. A combination of multiple things. Wemby, Fox, Mitch, Luke, everything I brought up. And other guys could have stepped up too, maybe hit a couple more shots. The answer to me is nobody. You win as a team, you lose as a team. And that's what I think happened last night. We lost as a team. I don't want to sit here and just say one particular guy lost us the game. And don't forget, we could have won the game. We're just a few inches away from winning this damn game, but Champagne's shot was just a little off. A couple other things I want to talk about. I had to give a shout out to Anthony Edwards. I'm not a Wolves fan. Not really a fan of his either. I mean, he's a good player, don't get me wrong. But playing like he did on not one but two bad knees and coming back a few games earlier than I think a lot of people expected, including me. Yep, stepping up for the playoffs. Kudos to him. Harrison Barnes, he rebounded last night. When is his three-point shot going to come back? Because we need something more from him. So put him another along the lines that, we could have gotten a little more from. Stephon Castle played well. No turnovers. Hit his threes. Not getting any love from the refs. Fouled out, and there was a very minimum, at least one, probably two bad calls against Steph. And I think he got his fifth foul, getting pushed by Julius Randle, and they called the foul on him. I don't remember the exact sequence because it was late and I was tired, but from my eyes, maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it seemed like Steph was not getting calls go his way against Minnesota. Carter Bryant, will he be back in game 2? Seems like it. We certainly could use his athleticism, some three-point shooting. He brings the energy. He might not play a ton of minutes, but even 6 to 8 minutes might be better than 0. I don't know. And then the rust thing. Some folks were talking about, TSR, do you think the Spurs are rusty? The Spurs were off about 5 days. Timberwolves were off 3 days. No, we can't use that. These guys are professionals. This is like riding a bike. For not playing for 5 days, we can't say, the Spurs lost because they haven't played in 5 days. I don't buy that. Now, if it was a significant amount of time, let's say I'm a big UFC fan, fighters that are gone for 2 years, or Gina Carano is fighting Ronda Rousey soon, who hasn't fought in like 17 years. Okay, I think there's going to be some rust. You haven't played in over a decade, or fought in this case. Less than a week? No, I don't think it was rust. Maybe jitters at the start, but no, they had a chance to win the game, and it just didn't happen. But it is one game. One game I was hoping we win. I know it's one game you guys were hoping we would win. They lost. Lost only by 2, with Wemby and Fox struggling on offense. If I told you guys before the game, Victor Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox are going to have an absolutely abysmal shooting night and get a combined, what was their combined scoring? I don't remember. What did they get, 24 points together? Wemby had 11, Fox had 10. 11 and 10. If I said, hey guys, Wemby and Fox are going to go combine 10 of 31, including over 12 from 3, and they're going to score 21 points. How much do you think we're losing by? You guys be like, TSR, 10, 15, 20, we're probably getting blown out. We lost by only 2 with them struggling, which tells me these games are absolutely winnable, and I still think we can win the series. Just going to have to play better. All right, I want to wrap it up. I'd be very curious to, guys, actually, let me ask you this. Those of you that are still watching, the over-under, the number is 4. The number of people that comment on the thumbnail and title only, because there's a little group of that. They're like, TSR, you suck. You're hating on the team after the game, not realizing I'm actually supporting the team in this video and saying I don't blame anybody in particular, that it was a team loss. But, somebody's going to comment, you hate De'Aaron Fox. You hate Mitch. I don't know. So, very curious. Over, under 4. I'm going to say under. I'm going to say only 2 or 3 people do it. I'm going to go under. So, just a little fun game there. You don't win anything for that. As far as the giveaways, I think I might just do the giveaways random moving forward in the live streams. Doing the thumbs up goal, I don't really like it. It doesn't feel me. And yeah, that's all I got. So, like, comment, subscribe, your thoughts on the game, and what do we need to do to win game 2. Thank you, and as always, go Spurs go.